So today we're going to do a spatchcock chicken on JKS 550, the Keystone series. And we've got a really neat little accessory for it. It's our pellet accessory. We're not trying to say that this is like a pellet grill, not any intention of that whatsoever. But we are going to use pellets to infuse a nice smoky flavor into this chicken that we're going to cook today. We're also going to cook it on a grillstone, which is a volcanic slab. In order to do this, you just take your standard cooking grates out of the grill for a moment. And below the standard cooking grates, you're going to find what is called the diffusers. In today's episode, we're going to take out all of the diffusers and in their place, so that we get a little bit more of a smoky presence, we're going to put our accessory, our pellet grill accessory into the grill. And we're going to do it on either side because we're going to wind up with a grillstone in the middle with the spatchcock chicken on there, and then we're going to burn pellets through the process of about approximately an hour of cooking on that chicken. So it'll give it a nice texture to the bird, and you're going to get a little bit of a smoky essence to it. So in order to do this process today, we're going to fill these little hoppers up with pellets. We've chosen what they call a blended version of the pellet, so it's blended woods, obviously edible, food grade you would call it. And we'll be putting that in there. There's all kinds of pellets you can buy. There's alder. They actually have a charcoal wood pellet now that adds another flavor, another dimension to it. But there's all the fruit woods, your traditional hickory, also mesquite. So very many varieties, whatever wood you can think of that is a nice add-on. And certain woods pair up well with certain foods. In this case with chicken, we want to get a nice light smoke, so we've got a blended wood here for today. So I'm going to take this little item and fill up this hopper. What's going to happen through the process is this is going to smoke and smolder for about 20 minutes. And at that point, because I'm going to continue for almost an hour of cooking, I'm going to refill these and continue with the smoking process. So we've got those hoppers filled up now. The next stage is, before we start to cook today, and we're going to go over and have a look at our ingredients before we fire this up, but when we come back here to cook the bird, we're going to fire this up on low, and at that point, at the low setting, you're going to get a little bit of smoke coming off the pellets. At that time, we know that they have ignited and they're smoldering, so it's a nice time to get that smoke coming. At that point, we're going to turn those burners off, and we're going to just let them smolder and create more smoke. And we're only going to use the center burner to keep the grillstone warm enough that we can cook the bird at the same time. So we'll move over to looking at our ingredients today. And it's going to go to the fridge. Obviously we have one in there that's been in for 4 hours, because your about 4-hour time is about the best in a brine. If the meat doesn't get overly salted, and it has a nice chance to get inside of the chicken, giving more moisture to the bird. And somebody recommended to blend your spices as opposed to just putting them in full into the pot. And they felt that the infusion of flavor was a lot more intense than just placing the articles in with the brine mixture. So that's what we're going to do today. So I've got my blender out here, and we're going to add to this blender right now basil, parsley, thyme, and rosemary. All nice fresh from the garden. Supplied by Lep Farm Market just down the road from my house here. Also that provided the spatchcock chicken. Spatchcock chicken is a little bit of a process where you take the backbone out so you can lay the bird flat, and if you go down to the butcher at Lep's, they'll actually spatchcock a chicken for you, which gives you a little bit more ease of using the bird for what you want to do with it. And you'll find it's a delicious way to grill a bird. So we're going to put in our dry ingredients. I've got a purple onion, half of a purple onion in here. I'm going to take my garlic and just crush it with my knife here. Just give it a head start in the blender. And then I'm going to add to that some peppercorns. And this will be to your own flavor. You can add more of these or less. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon and a half of peppercorns. And then we're going to put in 12 tablespoons of kosher salt. So all your dry ingredients are in. Then just take a regular cup of water, because you're going to add a total of 8 cups to your brine. So this will be your 1, so you'll add 7 more after this. So there's a cup of water in there. And then we're going to blend this. But I'm just going to go for about another 10 seconds to get a nice liquefied mixture. So what that's going to be now is that's going to go right into the brine. I've got my pot ready. This is my brining pot. I'm going to take the mixture, pour it into the pot. Boy, that looks good. It smells delicious. And then we're going to take my bird. Give you a little look at what a spatchcock bird looks like. The backbone is taken out so that you can lay the bird flat. So we're going to take this bird right now, we're going to lay it into that mixture, and then we are going to add another 7 cups of water to that. So we got a total of 8 cups in that mixture. Boy, that smells really good. So we're just going to go put this in the fridge, and we'll have the other one ready to cook. So we've had our bird brining spatchcock chicken for 4 hours in this brine. I'm going to take it out of the brine right now and then rinse it in fresh water and move to this tray. Move this out of the way. We're going to go over and fire up the pellets. And once we see a little bit of smoke, we're going to put the spatchcock chicken on the grillstone, the Island Grillstone. It's also a product that we sell. It's actually volcanic rock, and it holds its heat very nicely and keeps the moisture in the meat. And as the moisture comes out of the meat, it sort of engulfs the area that the bird is sitting and adds flavor to it. It's really delicious. I've done a lot of things on the Island Grillstone. You've probably got friends and relatives that have used it before, and a lot of good things to say about it. So that's what we're going to do. So our bird comes out, we'll just sort of let it drip a little bit, move it to the bath. We're not scrubbing it, we're just going to let some of the loose salt and that come off of it in the water. Move to this area here. I'll move the water out of the way and the brine out of the way. And now we have this beautiful little bird from Lepp's Farm Market. Delicious, grown in the Fraser Valley. And love their product. The quality of the product is fabulous. So patting it dry, because we want to get, we don't really want to steam the chicken. We want it to crisp up nicely, so we're taking some of the moisture away from the area. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing this for the best results. All right, our bird is ready to go. So we're going to come over now to the grill. And we've had that grillstone, that Island Grillstone, heating up. The grillstone itself right now is probably sitting about 300, 310 degrees. So we're going to let that run for about 30 seconds. As soon as we see a bit of smoke coming up from the pellets, we're going to turn those burners off. And what's going to happen is the pellet's going to smolder for a while. The nice thing about using pellets, and I like both wood chunks and pellets, but pellets you don't have to soak. They're so dense, they smolder quite nicely. So today being pellets, we're going to wait for that smoke to come off. As soon as we see a bit of smoke, I'm going to shut those down, and I'm going to bring this delicious bird over and put it onto the Island Grillstone. One thing I did want to say in the brining that I missed is make sure your salt's dissolved. It's easy to do. When I did that blending method, I noted that the salt was mostly dissolved by the time I added it to the water mixture. Just very little bit of granulation, but make sure you've dissolved the salt very well in your brine mixture. So I've just shut the burners off. It was enough to create the smoke. If your pellets do light up on fire, that's perfectly fine. They'll burn, they'll drop down, they'll smolder a bit more. But what we're trying to do is, again, we're not replacing a pellet grill. This is not the intention. We're not pretending something it's not. What it is it's still a grill first, but you're getting some nice smoke infusion for people that like that subtle bit of smoke. But this is just giving you a little bit of subtlety to the bird. So the sizzle that's coming off that right now, the chicken hit that hot Island Grillstone. The flavors, the smells, the aroma coming off the bird and the smoke that's coming through, it's just, you just know that you're in for a delicious meal at this point. The flavors are going to be wonderful, and it's just that little bit of smoke that's just going to give it another layer. So, oh, that smells so delicious. Let's go and get some nice color on that skin now. See, that's got some nice color there. So we've just taken this bird off at just under 60 minutes. It looks delicious, smells fabulous, got beautiful color. The moisture is there, obviously from the brining, the salt that went into the meat, and the moisture has kept it nice and juicy. And I think we're going to enjoy this. Dan and I are going to try it and see how it worked out. I'm really curious about the whole blending of the spices in the blender before adding it to the brine mixture. So we'll see what kind of flavors we get out of it. Oh, look at the juice is just coming right out of there.